If you've ever heard someone say laundromats are the best source of passive income and then heard someone else say never buy a laundromat, they're a nightmare, then this video is for you. Today, I'm breaking down the real pros and the real cons of buying a laundromat. This way you can decide if you think this business is really for you, not just based off of TikToks or Instagram Reels or what some guru's saying. I've looked at, analyzed, and helped people buy laundromats all over the country. I'll tell you this, laundromats can be terrible for the wrong person, or they can be absolutely incredible. So let's break it all down. So first and foremost, before we go forward, let's clear this up right now. Passive income does not mean do nothing ever. Passive income is income that requires minimal time and effort to maintain. I'm really sick of people telling me that passive income doesn't exist. It does, but the internet has made it sound and seem like passive income is just sitting back collecting checks every month for doing nothing. There is no such thing as free money. A properly ran laundromat definitely qualifies as passive income. Most owners spend just a few hours a week managing their laundromats. If you're comparing this to short-term rentals, fix and flip real estate, or running employees every day, a laundromat is way more hands-off. People stop buying luxury items in a recession. What people don't do during a recession is stop washing their clothes. In fact, during economic downturns, more people actually rent, which means fewer people own washers and dryers, and demand for laundromats actually goes up. That's why laundromats are considered one of the most stable small businesses that you could buy. They have a 96% success rate. And this is not a complicated business. You're not managing inventory. You're not chasing invoices. You're not dealing with seasonal trends. If you provide clean machines, a safe environment, and reliable service, customers pay, machines run, and revenue comes in. In the laundromat business, simple beats fancy every single time. But this is where laundromats get so exciting. This is why I'm so passionate about it. There are so many ways to get into a laundromat and immediately start increasing income. You can do things such as adding wash and fold, pickup and delivery, price optimization, better marketing, modern machines, and having better hours, even staying open 24/7. Most laundromats are under-optimized, meaning that the opportunity isn't necessarily working harder, but instead working smarter. That plays a big part. And compared to a lot of other businesses out there, laundromats are relatively easy to get owner financing. They're easier to structure creative deals. And a lot of these are often owned by older operators who are ready to exit. Like I always say, there are 75 million baby boomers with 10,000 of them retiring every single day. And that creates huge opportunity if you know how to structure deals properly. You don't always need hundreds of thousands of dollars to get started investing in real estate. Now, let's talk about a lot of the stuff that people conveniently skip most times. Washers and dryers are not cheap. When they break, you can't ignore it. You'll deal with repairs, maintenance, and eventually replacements. This is why proper due diligence before you buy matters. The business is great, bad machines are not. Water, gas, and electric are going to be your biggest expenses. If you overpay for utilities, have inefficient machines, and you don't monitor usage, your margins disappear really fast. This is one of the biggest mistakes that first-time buyers make. On the other hand, a bad location can kill a really good laundromat. You need to have safety, you need to have density, and you need to have a solid parking lot with plenty of parking, because if you have 40 washers and dryers and only 3 parking spots, well, guess what? Those extra 37 washers and dryers aren't going to do much good. A beautiful, well-run laundromat in a bad area can be a total deal breaker. When you buy a laundromat, you're really not posting flashy, fancy pictures of it on Instagram every day. If your ego needs flashy branding, constant excitement, laundromats are boring businesses, and they reward consistency, not clout. This is why I tell so many of my students that you can only make a car wash or laundromat look so sexy on Instagram or Facebook. Google is really where you want to hone in on getting reviews. I mean, if you think about it, if you go to search for a laundromat near you, you're probably not going to go search that on Facebook or Instagram. You're probably going to pull out your phone, open Google, and search laundromats near me, and you're going to pick one based off the reviews. I would be inclined to say that you're probably going to go with the 4.9 star review laundromat as opposed to the 3.0 star reviewed laundromat. So these are not really big social media based businesses. They're more necessity, not so much a want. You're going to come across a lot of sellers who hide revenue, aka underreport it. They hide expenses and they inflate numbers. These businesses are a little bit tricky because they're all cash businesses, so that's something you've got to be careful about. You've got to know how to verify revenue, analyze utilities, and spot red flags. If you don't, you can overpay very quickly and get into a bad deal. A laundromat is a good fit if you want predictable cash flow, if you value stability over hype, want passive income without tenants or toilets, and you're okay with boring, non-flashy businesses, but that are still profitable. This is not going to be ideal if you hate systems, if you want to avoid maintenance, or if you need constant novelty. Laundromats are truly one of the most understood business models that's out there. Hopefully that gives you a little bit better of ideas of, pros and cons for this type of business. I will say this, that there's a lot of cleaning involved, whether you own a car wash or a laundromat. I know this video is specifically on laundromats, but it's constant cleaning, maintaining your facility, straightening things up, keeping it looking nice, because first impression for your customers is everything. So as soon as they walk through your door, you want it to smell good in there. You want it to be clean, everything to be nice and orderly. And that does take some work. So if you're scared to get dirty, it's definitely not for you either. But bottom line is, guys, make sure that you're very careful getting into these businesses. One good deal can change your life, but one bad deal can destroy it. So if you want any help ever analyzing these deals, learning how to avoid the bad ones, and even how to buy using creative financing so that you can bypass getting a loan from a bank, getting your credit hit, or having to have thousands of dollars saved up to put down at risk, click the link below. I do offer free training, and I do have an opportunity where I open up spots every month to work with me one-on-one if you're interested in that. I have a lot of other testimonials on my YouTube channel where you can see the results from other people who have worked with me one-on-one. Check that out if you're interested. You can see if we're a good fit, see if it's something you're interested in. And please, if you got value from this, please like and comment the #1 business that you are interested in investing in this year, whether that be a laundromat, a car wash, or something else. And I will see you guys in the next video.